Sometimes when we open an NSOM image in WxSM, we find that the values are negative. For example, here we see that part of the values are negative. Now this shouldn't make sense because we're measuring counts, so counts shouldn't be negative. Now this is an issue with WxSM. Just to show that this is the issue with this software, let's look at the NWS program. So here's our image, and now we can also save it not as a STP file but as an ASCII file which we can open in an Excel sheet. So first we want to make sure that we want to measure the calculated values, not the raw data. Okay, the raw data is the millivolts going, or the volts going into the DT, and after they go into the DT we do some process to them. So this is the calculated. The calculated is the formula which we input in the input channels. So here we have, for NSOM, we have a certain formula. So it takes the volts and it applies on a certain formula, and that's what we see in the calculated values here. So first we have to press here on the, we have to make sure that it's converted. So we press here, then we save it as a spreadsheet file. We choose a certain file name, we save it, and now we'll open it. So let's open it as an Excel sheet. And here we see that all the NSOM values are all positive. None are negative. So how can we improve this with the WxSM? So one way of doing it is as following. We go here to recalibrate, we choose the z-axis, and the offset we input this number right here, but the positive one. So this is minus 0.080873, so you put here the negative with the positive 0.080873. Now so we see here that the minimum became 0. We do OK, and now we have a recalibrated image, for example here, and all of the values will be positive. Now all we did was we made the minimum to be 0, but we want it to make more sense. So or we can just look for the minimum value in this Excel sheet and put it there. For example, you can do a certain function which will look for the minimum and add that minimum in the same way to here. We can add another offset. Another option is to look at the noise level before we turn the laser on, after the photon counter is turned on. So mostly we will see a certain noise signal, not always but sometimes, and we can read that noise signal by looking at the NSOM. So we're going to look at the NSOM channel, and then we can do read continuously, and we'll see a certain value here, and that value we can add to the WxSM in the same way which we added the offset. We can add that value right here.